Okay, so we have an added item.
We do, but I think it's supposed to be amended because, because you're not notifying the public of a possibility of increase, you're notifying them of increased taxes, and then the budget hearing was published. Yeah, I think Betty's bringing a revised one down. But, I mean, it's still, it's just a couple pieces of wording in there that she's gonna amend.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out, let's make
That
it
may be
C,
what she's-
we'll do C1 then.
Yeah, I say,
Smack you around if you do. I understand.
Well, wait just a minute, you think she's coming back then?
yeah, as I say, because she had Diana go over it this morning, and, I mean, you can still add it, she can still bring the amended, and you can bring the amended document. All it's
So you
doing
have
is-
what you need to read?
Right, because
though.
all you're doing is just she's just changing the things that you have made the increase, and that the budget hearing was published. See, this is the wording on this thing is normally before the public hearing, so it's just it's just kind of grammatical things is all.
Okay.
See, I knew she. This is the, okay, and then here you put the, of the increase, okay, this is the correct one. And was, she got it.
And then we cut that increase, we cut that paragraph and talked about
Oh, okay, oh, about the other one, okay,
the
good.
legislature not sure.
So you have the correct?
I have the correct one right now.
All right, we're starting. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everyone, and welcome to the August 26th meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. We have a few housekeeping items we need to take care of this morning. Need to make a motion to pull the item 1 under proclamations and presentations, as scheduling conflicts, so that isn't, I'll pull that item unless there's objection. And then also a motion to add an item from the Audit Finance Department, a resolution concerning the budget under C1. Just put that as C1. And Madam Clerk, if you could read what that item is, so.
Right
I mean,
now, or-
well,
or
just,
that-
yeah, just to read it as, so that commissioners can
Also,
know, I believe.
what there's being added, okay.
Yeah.
We're adding a resolution expressing the property taxation policy of Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners with respect to financing the 2014 annual budget for Shawnee County.
That is a motion to add as C1. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Yes.
Madam Chair, now that we're doing housekeeping items, I'd like to remove number 9 from the consent agenda and make it D1. I'd like to have a little discussion on that item.
Okay.
Thank
So,
you.
motion by Commissioner Archer and second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. All right, first item.
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
There are questions on the consent agenda?
Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item 4, new business, A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Madam Chair, this morning we have one set of vouchers dated August 23rd, 2013 in the amount of $1,196,486.28, and I'll make a motion to approve those vouchers.
Second.
It's motion by Commissioner Archer and second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
Move approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item A3, consider approval of resolution number 2013-113, authorizing the county clerk to cancel and reissue a check. And Commissioners, this is was a juror check, and then we have this item 4 is in conjunction with this, so
Okay.
I will need the approval first for to cancel and reissue.
Okay, are there questions?
Motion to
On the
approve the
request.
resolution.
There's a motion by Commissioner Archer,
Second.
a second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no, motion carries 3-0.
Item A4, consider approval of request to waive the check replacement fee of $10 for Christian Evans. And this is Mr. Evans. He did write out a memo that said, I'd like to request a waiver of the $10 replacement check fee. I've asked the county to reissue the payment of $28 to me for the 2 days of jury duty. My payment was sent to my old address, which I have not lived at since May of 2010, and I did not realize the county might not have my current address as my jury summons came to my correct address. So there was I have no idea why, because I mean, if it pulls from different databases, I don't know, it's done, that's all done through the courts, but, so he's just saying it was out of his control, entirely out of his control, so he's asking that you cancel, or that you allow me to waive his $10 fee and refund it to him.
Okay. Well, is there a motion on the request, first of all, or questions? Kathy, I'm gonna maybe ask you for some comment on that. And if that's the case, maybe that's something we need to look into.
Kathy Linhart, Court Administration. Those aren't pulled from different databases necessarily. If somebody doesn't tell us, somehow he must have gotten the notice, whether it was forwarded. And if they don't bring it with them, most people will cross it out and bring it in. What I made a note about doing is talking with the jury coordinator about being sure that in the orientation that they do, that they tell people if their notices were forwarded, or be sure that in the instructions when they are chosen to be a juror,
Okay.
of course, they're all gonna get paid for that first day, so that needs to happen in the orientation, and we'll see if we
Okay.
can adjust that.
Okay.
It's not really a computer problem, I think it's a people problem.
Okay, all right, thank you. Are there questions or a motion?
Motion to approve the request.
Second.
Okay, there is a motion by Commissioner Archer and second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no, motion carries 3-0.
Item B, Community Corrections. Number 1, consider approval of request to purchase 1 copier, 1 cabinet, and authorization and execution of contract C 403-2013 for annual maintenance at a total annual cost of $1,884.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ed O'Rear, Community Corrections. We had one of our old Hewlett-Packard LaserJet printers die, and it services the majority of our adult officers. We had a meeting with John Fowler from Century United and Matt Vanderpool from Shawnee County IT. And we believe that the Savin MP301 SPF workstation not only is a more efficient, cost-effective machine, but it also provides printer, fax, and scanner services, which will be more efficient in that area of the building. A cabinet for the machine at $123, and that's a purchase. That's a one-time purchase, and that's the state contract prices. And then a maintenance and service agreement, and for 1 year for $390. That will cover all materials and supplies, as well as servicing should it need. And all of these funds will come out of our FY14 Kansas Department of Corrections Adult Services grant. And in years following, we will just put that maintenance and service agreement in our budget.
Okay. Thank you for the explanation. Are there questions?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Commissioner
Mr. O'Rear,
Yes.
none of this is actually county funds or general revenue funds?
None of it at all. All KDOC grant funds.
And if you had any money left over at the end of the year, that's not returned to the general revenue either, is it?
No, it's not.
So we're just approving this for form, not for any substance?
I believe the one thing that actually needs your approval is the contract for the service agreement. Yes.
But even that, your fees or payments, your budget comes through the Kansas,
That's correct.
so it doesn't have anything to do with the county.
And not in terms of monetary,
Okay.
yes.
But the contract needs to be signed in order for
Yes, it does.
them to be paid. Yes, and that needs to go through the county commission. Okay. Are there further questions? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Item C1, Shawnee County Resolution expressing the property taxation policy of the Board of County Commissioners with respect to financing the 2014 annual budget for Shawnee County.
Morning,
Morning.
Betty Griner, Financial Administrator. This is a resolution that's required for the budget that was approved last Thursday. It just states that the taxes levied to finance the 2014 budget exceed the amount that was levied to finance the 2013 budget. This is not, since we did not, since the amount that was approved did not exceed the amount that was published, this does not need to be published. It just needs to be a resolution that is approved and signed by each of you.
Okay.
I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions?
Motion to approve the resolution.
A
Second.
motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Item D1, consider agreement with LabCorp regarding access to patient medical records data by LabCorp patient service technicians.
Good morning, Alice Weingartner, Shawnee County Health Agency. This agreement is ongoing work with our LabCorp vendor who is doing our lab services on site. And this is just to help with the workflow of how the work order labs are processed. And so if we can capture any maybe errors potentially on those labs before they go through the billing process. It will also help in us getting our lab results entered back into the system electronically.
Thank you. Questions?
I guess the question I had, good morning.
Good morning.
The original contract was in December of 2012. I guess why has it taken 9 months to get to this point where they need the additional information to accurately bill?
We've actually gone through a process where we've had to build the interface first, and that took several months. When we started with LabCorp, and they actually started in January of this year, we were still using paper requisitions, and we will still use paper requisitions. But this portion of it, we were trying to do it without having to engage their patient service techs, and we're finding that with that interface, we need to engage the patient service techs in part of that process.
And all privacy issues are settled?
Correct. They will be, we are able to establish access to our system so that they can only access certain records, which actually, and I'll go, I know this is going to be on the commission agenda on Thursday, this ties back to that nurse informaticist position that we're looking to fill, and that nurse informaticist position helping to monitor those activities as well and establish those protected areas that they can access.
Okay. Thank you, Alice, for the
You're welcome.
clarification. I'll make a motion to approve.
Sure.
Second.
There's a motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alice.
Item 5, administrative communications.
There are administrative communications at this time. Are you here to make a comment?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I just have a few quick bullet points. I wanted to start off by commending Commissioner Archer. Feels like I was just up here. At the last time I was up here at the first of the year when we were proposing our contract, you mentioned the possibility of RFPing the building and how it hadn't been RFP'd for quite some time. We've been in there for 15 years, and that kind of prepared us. We were prepared as the building may go into RFP, we may look at budget cuts, and when we heard about the 1.5 million, of course, we knew that that may be something that affected us. So
Let's make sure we get your name and who you're with on the
yes,
record.
Dawn Lassiter,
Okay.
Community
All right.
First.
Thank you.
And I did want to also say that I know it was reported about, contention, but we have no contention. When I received the letter that said, we are, Parks and Rec, per our contract, can terminate without cause, there was no contention. We complied. I sent a communication to John Knight, said, hey, I'm in receipt of your letter. We're going to start moving our stuff out. Thank you for 15 years. And, we'll start that process. And we did let all of our tenants know that, hey, 30 days, we had an agreement with you to give you 30 days. They have an agreement with us to give us 30 days. So we have 30 days. So I just wanted to clear the air on that and make sure everyone knows that we're not in any sort of contention, or we're not trying to fight to stay in the building or anything like that. We understand. We did have a meeting with Commissioner Cook at the beginning of the year, and he did let us know that, he's going to be looking to see, is the building worth keeping open? Is this money that we're being given going to be worth it? Because the building has a lot of different issues, maintenance, and a lot of people, we've been there 15 years, so we know, the city knows, and the county, I'm sure they've expressed that there's a lot of stuff going on there with the building. So the water park, I just wanted to make it clear that was a verbal kind of thing that went between the city and Community First. That was never part of our contract, but they said as long as we're in the building, if we could let them in when we're in there, then, and we said, yes, fine, that's fine. As far as we've been, since the park was established and has been working, we've probably had maybe 5 or 6 people that have come in. They really don't typically come in a lot, not from the water park. But we did make provisions as far as people coming in wet and make sure they have shoes on. So some of them we had to say, hey, you need to go back, put your shoes on, because we didn't want to slip and fall and have to deal with those types of issues. So as far as our hours of operation in the building, I did communicate with Randy with Parks and Rec through an email, and I have all my correspondences here, but we wanted to make sure I was in communication with him to let him know that, hey, I want to commend USD 501. They have a lot of wonderful programs going on, and it has affected our programming. We don't have as many kids that are coming in because it's hard to compete with free. And me as a parent, I understand that. I'd rather keep my child at their school doing a program there than having to worry about transportation and then having to pay extra on top of that. So we do understand that. We do understand, I was in communication that our numbers had fallen, so we had to adjust our hours. And I let Randy know that. So there was nothing we were trying to hide or evade or anything like that. And I want to make sure I hit all my points really quick. In the letter, okay, so there was a meeting, I guess, and I didn't find out about this until the day before yesterday, but it was stated that, it was communicated to us that our contract was being terminated without cause. And that's the letter that I received, the official letter from Parks and Rec. But then Eckert, I want to make sure I have his name right, Eckert, expressed that it was a contractual issue. And that was never communicated to us. And like I said, I would have liked the opportunity to have discussion about that, but that didn't happen. And so I just wanted to make sure that I cleared the air about that. So I do have the check for the full amount of that was requested as far as the last month of our quarter. And
Not an initial letter for 6,000, then an additional letter.
yes, we did receive 2 letters, and it was printed that the first letter in the amount of $6,875. We did receive a communication 2 weeks later requesting an additional $2,291. So we do have the full amount for the 9,000 plus. So I'll be prepared to drop that off, and I'll relinquish.
Thank you.
All right, good morning, Sandy Lassiter, and I am the secretary for Community First, which is a program. It's a 501c3 agency, and we are housed at this point in one component, and that's Abbott Center. We are established, and we've been at Abbott Center for 15 years in that particular facility. We took this over under our Mayor Joan Wagner, because we were in one of the most diverse communities in this city. And we had seniors in the building, we were serving youth, and we've done an outstanding job, if I will say so myself, and Community First has done an outstanding job. Given that we had very minimum monies to work with, and these people were working for minimum wage, you need to understand that. And we did a lot of events to shore us up and to underwrite. So just real quickly, I need you to understand that there was nothing, and when I just returned from Atlanta late last night, and I opened the paper and saw Miss Dawn, beautiful picture, but I thought, what? There's no contention here. We understood there was a possibility that this building might close as other buildings in the city has closed. What we did want to make sure, I just made sure that our director was communicated with properly, which did not happen, that there was a meeting about the spray park and all that. She didn't give all of the stats, but then the persons did not come in that often during the course of the day. There were not that many people that came in from the spray park, wonderful spray park. And there was always staff available for what was ever was needed, even with the NIA and the persons who wanted to come there. Also, for this particular building, there are people that have used this building or rented rooms for a minimum amount of money. And given the area and the persons that are there, these people have been accommodated. We have been gracious to them, and everybody has had, I would say, maybe what you might call special favors, but we won't even call it that, because economically there are people that really could not afford, like the dance team, they really cannot afford to go somewhere and pay $25 an hour to secure a space to do special programs for our babies. 501, excellent, awesome, wonderful. I am so glad that they got an empowerment grant so they're able to do after-school programs and keep the children on site. That is just awesome. But also, it negatively affected our working with those children. However, there were other special events. There were churches there and other basketball teams. And I will say this while I'm talking, in case it comes out. I want anything I say to be accurate, because I will say it again for everybody that knows me. There are young people in that community that come in for a basketball practice, and they come in and play a couple of times a week. I would rather see them in that building doing basketball and having a very healthy spiritual environment than on the street doing something really foolish and criminal. And that's what we're about. We're about giving hope to our community and our children and our seniors, and not about regression, but progression. My concern is that we've done everything we were asked to do with minimum amount of money, and we've done a good job. So we want this to be rewritten in case Mr. Tim is going to write this article again. Otherwise, I'll just call a press conference. We want to make sure that our name is cleared, no misdeeds, nothing negative at all. And I realize sometimes the news not, good reporting, Mr. Tim. But sometimes we understand that media likes to have a little contention. No contention on our part. And then we're giving hope. And then you'll have another article coming out that Community First is going to an international level, as well as another community event. Also, your tournament, the tournament that draws about 500 people at the Tennessee Town, that is sponsored by Community First. So we are not restricted to a building, because we're giving hope to our entire community. So the money is paid, and we've done a good job. And we wanted to come with a letter and say, thank you for being gracious. You took it from the city. We had our little situations with the city, but we always worked it out. We thought the county, oh my God, that's wonderful, working with the county. Then we saw the article and we thought, what? No, so we didn't write the letter after all, but we did bring the money. Just want you to know that. Thank you for your time this morning, and we want to make sure that's corrected and that we're conceding, I won't even say conceding, but we're collaborating and working in cooperation with a good name, because a good name is better to be chosen than great riches. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else for administrative communications? The next item, Commissioner Archer. Commissioner Archer has some.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There was an article in Capital Journal the other day, and I know there's just a handful of people in Topeka that don't read the Capital Journal every day, but for that handful of people, I wanted to make sure that I read this. And the headline is, Bueller elected health chairwoman. Indulge me for a moment. Shawnee County Commission chairwoman Shelley Bueller has been elected to a 3-year term as chairwoman of the board of directors of the Kansas Health Foundation. The foundation announced in a news release Thursday. Bueller of Rossville has served since 2006 on the board of the foundation, a private philanthropy based in Wichita that works statewide toward its mission of improving the health of all Kansans. The foundation is governed by a 9-member board of directors and provides more than $22 million annually in grant funding in communities throughout Kansas. I wanted to make sure everybody heard that, and I wanted to congratulate our chair and say I think it's a tribute that's very well deserved. Good for you. Bravo.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm following Bill Docking, and so that's some big shoes to fill, but the staff and the rest of the board of the Kansas Health Foundation are amazing, and they have done such good work throughout this state, and long before I arrived, so I'm just very honored to serve on that board. So, thank you.
Congratulations.
Next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
There is a need for an executive session today for a period not to exceed 10 minutes for employer negotiations, relations, and for legal matters as well. Anything else, commissioners? That is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
need to ask for an extension to file the budget with the state?
Well,
Because of this-
no, with me, you file it with me.
Okay, with the county clerk, because of this, hearing that has been published with the extension council.
Oh,
So, essentially, your budget's not done yet until after that meeting,
which is the 29th?
With 29 at 9 o'clock,
which of course, that's the one I disagreed with.
Okay.
but it's been published, as I understand it.
I didn't publish it, and I didn't sign it. And you didn't authorize the publication of it. Your actual action didn't say to publish it, but but he said he would work with Betty.
So we need to do that today versus Thursday?
You have to, yeah.
Okay, is Rich back in here? Because he probably needs to be aware of that.
So I can't get your signature from you. So
You might want to let him know before we go back into
We're,
session, though.
I guess what I need to do is ask for an extension to submit it to the county clerk until after that hearing.
I don't know if you asked for an extension, there's not really a rule, this is how you guys did.
No, but you just notify me. That's all you have to do is notify me, and I've not received any
So
notification.
I just, okay, so just to notify her that the budget will not be given.
So do you need commission approval for that, or Betty just needs to notify?
I just need, okay, there's no commission approval.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
The Atchison County Council told me that 2 years ago, they gave the budget to the state of Kansas in November.
Really?
So that's something to be proud of?
That's odd.
Well, he answered a question somebody asked him. Actually, he said that on his own.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to notify?
I will
Okay.
notify.
All right. Okay, we are back in session. We're back in session, no action required, and we are adjourned. Nothing for signing today?
Nothing for signing?